Hi everyone, this is tools.The and you're watching Blender 2.8 basic tutorial series, and today we will take a look on the selection process in more detail as we have already talked in the previous session, but in this video we will talk about all the transformation and the selection process in the more depth. So as per the revision purposes, first of all, if you press A on your keyboard, you will find that all the things in your viewport get selected over here, and press your left mouse button in the empty space to deselect. So this is the very common and very easy process of selecting the object. So now we will talk about these selection processes over here. From this drop down menu you will see that there are multiple kinds of selection modes over here: circle select, box select. So today we will talk about all these selection modes one by one. Box selection mode is presented over here by default. If you want to select multiple objects at the same time, just click and drag over all the objects you need, and you will find that all your objects has been selected over here. If you want to deselect some objects, just press Ctrl, drag in the same manner if you had done before. You can very well select all the objects by the box selection mode by just clicking and dragging over here, and if you want to deselect some objects from it, you can simply press Ctrl and drag in the same manner. You can anytime use this selection tool by just pressing B on your keyboard. So this plus sign will give you the access on the box selection mode, and you will start dragging over here, and you will find that all your objects have been selected again with the shortcut B. But in that case, you will have to use the middle mouse drag to deselect the objects. So let's move further. Once you click C on your keyboard, you will find that you are in the mode of circle selection mode, where you can simply select the objects by just as you did it on Photoshop. You start painting on objects, so you just have to brushing on the objects you want to select, just like this. Just hold on and drag over here, hold on and drag over here, hold on and drag over here. So anytime if you want to switch over to the circle selection mode, you just press C on your keyboard and you will find that you are in the circle selection mode. To get out of it, just press escape on your keyboard and you will see that you are out of all the things. Yeah, the one more very important thing is that if you want to select all the things manually by your hand, just press shift on your keyboard and pick with your left mouse button. This is very useful actually when you have any other. Just wait a moment. So working manually with the shift button will give you access. Actually, it is very important while working because you can't select all the objects, all the inner objects by just clicking and dragging with the box selection mode or by pressing C, because it will only update on the objects which you can see or which are presented on the upper layer. I recommend you, while working on the inner bodies or inner objects, just shift over to the wireframe mode, and now it is very easy to select with the shift. Press shift on your keyboard and start picking the objects you want to select. So now we will cover the very last one, and that is the select lasso tool. If you have ever worked on Photoshop, so you have already known that how lasso tool used to work. We will make designs, and the objects which will be inside of this design pattern will be meant as selected, and which is outside of the design is actually not being selected. Look what I am doing here. So 1, 2 and only 3 objects are selected, 1, 2 and 3. 3 are being selected and the rest of the 3 are not being selected. This is not a very helpful way of selection because many times you face problems while you are working with many objects. So in my personal opinion, I personally use the select box tool, which is very handy while working. I have never used the Lasso selection board, but as per the sake of this video, I have to tell you that the tool used to work, so I have elaborated you in such a way. I hope you have understand. The next part is the 3D cursor. We have already discussed about the 3D cursor in a previous video, but for the sake of the video, I'll tell you that how 3D cursor used to work. Once you click on any object, and you will find that the midpoint of any object is being situated over here, which is known as the median point. If suppose I want to rotate my object, so it will rotate from the midpoint of the object. But anyhow, if I have to rotate my object from this side, so in that case, the very simple one, we will press shift and right click over here to call the 3D cursor on this place. Once you have done that, just check all the things are being in the right place. So now if you rotate your cursor, your object, but hey, it's not rotating from the 3D cursor. Yes, but we have not selected the 3D cursor mode from this top down menu. Currently we are situated on the median point. This is known as the median point. So you have to switch over to the 3D cursor to activate the 3D cursor on your viewport. So now when you rotate your object, you will find that your object is rotating not from this median point. Your object will rotate from the 3D cursor. So this is very easy, very handy while working. When you practice more and more, you will get to know some other very cool things about 3D cursor. But at the moment, just for the sake of video, I have told you about the working of 3D cursor. So the next one is the move tool. As if you want to push or pull your object anywhere in the space, the only tool used for pushing and pulling and putting your object anywhere in the space is known as the move tool. Just click over here and you will find the magic. Just a moment, I have not selected the median point. Yes, so as if you click over here, and now you are activated to move your object in the space. If suppose I want to shift my object in the X direction, so I will simply press the red arrow and start dragging. You can see the pink line indicating that which place you can keep your object. So if suppose I want to keep here, similarly Y, press this green arrow and you will find that you can move your object in the Y axis. This is the X. I'm seeing all these axes from this Gizmo. You can anytime, if you have any confusion finding the right axis, you can anytime come and see which axis we are moving our object. So blue is the Z, so I'm moving the Z, and you will find that your object is moving in the Z space. However, as per the Gizmo of move tool, you can see these squares also, the green square, the red square and blue square. The good thing is with this square that you can anytime move your object in 2 directions, but excluding the correspondent color. So as suppose I am moving my blue square, so you will find that your object will move in the red and green space, red and green axis, and that is X and Y, not Z. See, the Z is the upper one, Similarly, if I want to move my red box, which is the X, so my object will move in Y and Z but not in the X. See, because X is in this direction, so you can see that your object is not moving in the X direction because it have already excluded the X direction. And similarly the green one, it will move in the Z and X but not in the Y. It will not move in the same color, excluding the correspondent one. So I hope you understand this phenomena. You can also use move tool by pressing G. You can move your object anywhere in the space, but if suppose I want to move my object in this particular X direction, so now you have to press X. So you will see that your object is moving in the X direction. But somehow if I have changed my idea of moving in the X, I have to move my object in the Y direction. So I will click on Y and you will see that your object is starting moving in the Y direction. So this is the hotkey. When you are familiar with the Blender tools, you will definitely using the hotkey every time. I hope you understand what I am trying to show you here. So now the next one is the rotate tool, and the quick key for the rotate tool is here. Just press on this and you will find the sudden change in the gizmo. This is the rotate tool and this will help you while rotating your object in any object. So here you are seeing several colors over here, red, blue and green, similarly as you have already seen in the move tool. So these are indicating the axis you want to rotate your object. So here green is the Y, red is the X and blue is the Z. So as if you move your object in the X direction, so you have to move the red one. Similarly Y and this is the global axis, and this will help you while rotating your object in one direction, and these inner lines will always help you while rotating in the several axes X, Y and Z. Now one thing you have to understand over here, which is very helpful while working with the move tool and rotate tool. So as if currently you are able to see your gizmo over here, which is the global axis. I'll talk about the axis over here. So this is the global and this is the straight. All the time you will not work in these straight objects. As if suppose you are working with some tilted objects, so how you will manage with the move tool now, because your move tool will appear like this. This is the global axis. So from this drop down menu you will decide the type of gizmo you are using. So currently we are using the global mode. So let me illustrate in a more clear way what the problem you will face while working in the global mode in this tilted object. So as if suppose if you want to keep your object somewhere in this place, so from this gizmo it will be very tiring and terrifying also, because first of all you will take in the Z direction, then you will work on the Y and X direction, and you have to do several steps to work on. I have another option very helpful for you. So if suppose the object is like this, you can come over here and select the local mode. So the local gizmo helps you because it actually snaps over the origin of the object, and now you can see it is laid over here according to the object over here. So our object is tilted, so now it is very easy to move in the certain direction, and I can place my object in this place very easily. Just put over here. So these are the transform orientations. These types of gizmos will really help while working in any project. So I hope you have worked on the rotate tool. The next one is the scale. Yeah, with the rotate tool, if you want to work with the shortcut key, so press R for rotate, and you will see that your object has started moving with the outer line. I have already told you. So it is rotating over here. So as if you want to rotate in the X, press X, Y, and Z. You can work individually in each axis. So the next one is the scale tool. Scale tool is very helpful while working. It actually scales your object. If suppose you want to scale in X, Y, and Z, or you have to scale uniformly, you can just press S and your object will start to scaling in the uniform mode just by pressing S on your keyboard. As for scale, so as if I want to scale it the X direction, so press X, Y, and Z. Rest of the things work similarly in Blender. So I hope you have covered the scale also. So here is the very cool thing, and that is this gizmo, where you can find the move tool, the rotate tool, and the scale tool at one place. But I don't think that people most of the time use this. You can move your object also, you can rotate your object also, and with these squares you can scale your object in any particular direction. So I hope today we have learned a lot about the transformation tool in depth. Until we meet next time, take good care of yourself. This is your host tools.The signing out.